Hi, this is Lisbeth, and this is the tip of the week. Today, I want to talk about the word no and why it's not working. So, a lot of times we teach our dogs, or we think we're teaching our dogs to listen to the word no. The problem with no is that very often, most likely, you haven't really taught the dog what no really means. So, for instance, when we say no, we say it in such a loud voice or a different tone of voice that our dogs are just stopping what they're doing there and then because they get startled or surprised. It's a word or it's a tone of voice that they're not used to. So it's more by coincidence that they actually stop doing what they're doing than actually knowing the command word of no. The thing is that dogs respond better and more easily to clear body language and consistent cues, not vague words. Some people also use the name of the dog instead of no, so they keep repeating their name. My mother actually used to do that. So I did that to test her. I took I said to her many times her name, and her frustration got increased because she was never told what to do instead. That is the cue here, what to do instead. So let me take the example with my mother. I was visiting her, this is years ago, and she was in the kitchen. She was telling her dog no several times. And the dog got frustrated. He didn't know what to do. What did no actually mean? So I did the same thing with my mother. I just said, Mom, and then, of course, she responded to me, yes, but I didn't follow up on that. I said nothing. So I said, Mom, in different tones of voices. Mom, Mom, Mom. Just the way she said her dog's name, and no. So at the end, when done that for a couple of times, she turned around and she said, Lisbeth, what do you mean? What do you want me to do? I hear you, but what do you want me to do? That's my point exactly. Instead of saying no, we should teach our dogs what we want them to do instead. So, no might stop the behavior at the moment, but it doesn't really teach the dog anything. It doesn't learn the dog to know what to do instead. So, the consequence is that we say no a lot of times. And personally, I'm not even a no person. I usually say no, 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 no. I can say it several times. So it doesn't mean anything in the end. So instead, we should do other things. And when I personally started using my body language more, such as the hand signal, turning away, all these kind of small cues that I know that our dogs understand, it became so much easier to communicate with them. So I can't say for sure that I've completely stopped saying no because it's so built in me. So I can still sometimes say no. That will be my first reaction. No, don't do whatever she was going to do, my Wilma. But I try not to. So the thing here is that you have to be uh, very aware of what you're doing. So in practice, instead of saying no when your dog is, for example, jumping, I would much rather now use the hand signal so that the dog understands that it's not supposed to jump. What they do instead is for me, not important. I'm not going to give them a sit command or anything like that. I just don't want them to jump. So instead of jumping, go somewhere else, do something else. Okay? Same thing with barking. And barking is a tricky one because sometimes when our dogs are barking, when we start talking back or giving cues and commands, in some situations, quite a few of them actually, by doing so, we are also sometimes telling the dog that what you are doing now, barking, is okay because I'm barking with you, because we are talking, we are maybe even shouting, no, no, no. So to the dog, that could also mean, oh, it's okay that I'm barking because I'm giving a warning or guarding something. And my owner think that's fine because she's also helping me to bark by saying no, no, no. If your dog is chewing furniture, you know, to say no, it doesn't really help. You have to tell the dog what to do instead. So instead of chewing furnitures, give them something else to chew. Redirect the behavior towards something else. Just like with puppies who's biting. Puppy biting is very common. They all do it. And instead of saying no, which doesn't really mean anything, we need to show them and to redirect their behavior to something else. So if the puppy is biting your shoe, you trade the shoe with a good shoe. Chew. Sorry, chew. It's difficult. So if your dog is chewing your shoe, then you need to have a chew or a bone or something else alternatively that your dog is allowed to chew on. And then you hand them that instead. And of course, praise them, reward them for doing the right thing. Because we know that rewards bring out the same behavior because they want, they want the same, they want rewards just like we want rewards. So it's much more likely to have the dog do the same behavior again, the behavior you actually want. So instead of saying no, try to tell the dog what to do or help them redirect to what they can do. So one more example is my Wilma. Sometimes she's chasing the cat. Sometimes, not always. So when I see that she's about to start chasing the cat, I use the attention sound to get the attention over to me. And then the moment of chasing is kind of gone anyways, because it's a split second where she decides to chase or not. So if I have her focused on something else, maybe it's something I'm saying, I could just start talking to her in that situation. I do the attention sound and I said, no, I don't think you should start chasing the cat, blah, 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 blah. Just for a split second, that split second when she's deciding, I've managed to redirect her behavior onto listening to me instead. That could be the only thing we're asking them to do, to just listen to you or look somewhere else. It's just the small things. So actually, the conclusion is that no very rarely works. And it's just making things more stressful. That's my personal opinion. If we start using our body language and the way of communicating that we know our dogs, it's proven that they know it. It's instinctively, they know body language. And also when using the hand signal or the attention sound, we can much more effectively stop the dog from doing unwanted behaviors. So what I would like you to do is do the same thing as I did back in the days when I started being aware of this, is that you start from now on thinking every time you say no, just pay attention. How many times a day do you actually tell your dog no? And see what situations and circumstances you can change or trade the no for something else, like the hand signal, turning your body, using your body language and effectively communicating with your dog, or using the attention sound, or just showing them what to do instead. So I hope that this is a good tip. For sure, it will definitely help both you and your dog have a more stress-free communication and living environment. So good luck being more aware of when you are telling your dog no, and try to substitute the no with some communication form that is actually better for you and your dog.